What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Dark Roast Podcast. And I know it's been a minute, y'all. Um, it's been a minute. And let me tell you what's been going on. First of all, let's get everybody caught up to speed. A few podcasts ago, I talked about like following your passion, following your dreams. And on top of that, like working at a job that necessarily wasn't the right fit for me. And since then, I had decided to leave the job I was doing in advertising. Nothing wrong with the company I worked for. Loved them over there. Learned a lot from them. Just wasn't the particular role I really wanted to do. But I'm so grateful for the opportunity. But I decided to, like I said before, was to bet on myself, and I decided to go into business for myself, or mainly just really focusing on me as an MC, or more commonly known as an event host or a live event host. And I really want to go down that genre because I was really getting some good momentum when I did this prior to COVID. In 2019, I had a big break being the audience assistant coordinator for the Conan O'Brien show. Back when Conan O'Brien used to have a show, he used to have a pop up in San Diego and used to name it Conan Con when he would do his live show from San Diego at a venue and also do a comedy show with some added things within that show at another venue, but all in San Diego. Hence why it was called San Diego Conan Con. And because of the opportunity as the audience assistant coordinator, I got the chance to really be a live event host for that particular event. And I loved it. I enjoyed it, had so much fun. And that was back in 2019. And then that was like when I say like let's say a big break, but basically a very much great milestone in me trying to be a live event host. And all of a sudden, COVID hits, we shut down, and now I'm back to just working a regular job. And it was like most of the world had to do, or if you had a chance to go back to a job. And obviously, the event space was something that's very, back then, nobody was doing because of COVID. And it took a while for us to get back to live events. I mean, we're still recuperating from that, right? And I said, what did I do prior to COVID that I really enjoyed doing that I would love to do more often? I said, man, I wish I would to host. For those who don't know, like a lot of my friends know, like I actually auditioned to be the in arena host for the Los Angeles Lakers. I made it to like the last round. I was told it was between me and two other people, so there was three of us total. And it, more importantly, one was somebody that they thought was more qualified for it, which was fine. You know, I understand it. You know, this was my first opportunity to really audition for a role of this caliber, and maybe I wasn't all the way ready. The thing that he told me, which I thought was really nice, because he didn't have to call me. The guy who did the auditions didn't have to call me for it, and he said he wanted to call me for it, and I believed him. And he was just saying like, we love your skills. We love what you bring, your energy. It's just that your improv skills are great, but they're a little bit too much improv because it's very much a time sensitive environment. So that's something I really took to heart in a good way, where it's like, okay, well, now I got to really learn how to use these skills in the best way as possible. So that was that. And from there on, I auditioned to be the Ontario Reign, which is a local hockey team that plays out in Ontario. It's like the development league before you get into the professional league, and didn't make it. But hey, at least I had the audition, which is great. You know, my resume was good enough to give me the audition, and ever since then, I haven't really tried out for anything. And that was a few years ago now. So now I'm just like, you know what, time to bet on myself, try to get more event hosting gigs. With doing so, with me making money for myself, is the DJing aspect of it, obviously. So basically, having my DJing career be what's paying me to my paying my bills and all that stuff in order for me to pursue uh, event hosting. And so that's where I'm at right now. So the reason why I said it's been a long time, and I know it's a long story, is I just started to prioritize my damn sleep. Like, I feel like even though when I had a consistent 9 to 5 job, I felt like even though I had a consistent 9 to 5 job, I was up at 5:30 every morning trying to at least do a walk or do something productive before I started my work day at 9 o'clock, sometimes eight. And I was on a steady thing, but I was inside my office for 8 hours for the most part, unless I had to go into the office. And you really don't have anything to do after 6 o'clock. You're just like you're tired, you're mentally stressed. I don't know if some of you guys have jobs out there like I never really thought that was a thing. I thought y'all just tired, y'all just bullshitting, y'all just lazy. Like, no, dude, mental stress from work is a big thing, and it physically made me not want to do anything. Like, it didn't want me to do anything. So I was like, you know what? I think it's time for me to prioritize sleep now that I'm not at this job. And that's what I've been doing. And it's been great, because me working as a live event host, DJ, is the fact that, I'm on my feet a lot more, from anywhere from 2 hours to 6 hours. Sometimes I'm doing back to back events. I did two events in one day, this last past weekend, and which means I was on my feet for a total of 15 hours for the most part, which is crazy, and interacting with people, walking up and down places, and just really being that engaging MC host that everybody wants to see. And as a DJ, I'm a performance DJ. It means I go out there, I perform with the kids, I perform with the crowd. I go out there and make sure everybody's having a good time, keep the energy level up, and that requires me to be doing some dancing. That requires me to doing some audience pump up stuff. So physically, it takes a lot on my legs and my feet. And so I'm just like, I need to rest. Like I really need to rest and recuperate. And I wasn't giving myself that time. Like, after this past weekend, my legs were killing me. I worked an event on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and I was on my feet and I was just like drained. My legs were drained. I was tired. And I'm like, as bad as I want to get up early again and start going back to either a gym or doing some type of physical stuff, like I just want to feel like getting some sleep time. And there's nights I like to stay up late. I don't know if anybody's out there like that. Like to stay up late and just whatever, burn the midnight oil. I don't know if that means, but watching a movie or whatever case, just to decompress. And sometimes I would go to bed like 10:30, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, and think to myself, why am I going to bed so late? What am I trying to prove? I ain't 25 no more. Like, what am I doing? Like, But I think the one thing that it really um, got me to understand was, like I said, to prioritize my sleep and to really make sure that I am, taking care of myself best way as possible. And I'm saying it out loud because I'm not doing that, right? A lot of us ain't doing that, right? Then we're not taking care of ourselves properly, whether that's eating right, exercising right, or whatever the case may be. I remember talking to one of my boys about just like, we need to do right, man. Like we need to start to really prioritize our rest and prioritize like doing some type of physical activity. You know what I mean? It's funny because I'll be honest, I've gotten lazy. Like I've gotten lazy with exercise because I've always had a job where that was never needed to happen. Because I worked at Delta for 10 years. So as Delta, I'm in and out of planes. I'm stacking bags. I'm breaking a sweat. I'm moving. Like so, I really didn't need to do a lot of exercising. I was coaching. You know what I mean? Coaches, that coaching is still exercise, bro. I don't care what anybody tells y'all. Anybody out there is a coach, like walking up and down the courts and participating in the drills with the kids. Showing them the proper way to do a certain drill, whether it be a defensive slide, whether it be a shooting technique or whatever. Like it's still a physical aspect to it that requires a little bit of exercise. So it does, play a lot in your body too. So I was doing that. I was working out Delta, and I was still volunteering down at the Rose Float and building a float and stuff like that. So, I did a lot of like on my feet working out, in my opinion. Even when I worked at Delta, I mean, when I was worked at Disney after I left Delta, my job opportunity, I had a lot to do walking. I was doing like 4 or 5 miles a day, even though it doesn't sound like a lot, but that's what I was doing. I was walking that every time I went into the job. I was doing that on top of DJing and doing all those things. So I really think I need to. But now I need to. I need to prioritize not only just rest, but the proper workout, the proper exercise. I've actually been thinking about getting into because me and Nia had a private gym membership, which was nice. But now, me taking on a different financial role, I need to be able to cut costs a little bit, and we couldn't afford that because I just want to make sure that we are in the best state that we can be in. So I was just like, well, how can we cut some costs? Obviously, our gym membership was expensive, but the gym was like when I say it wasn't really a private gym. It was a fitness club. It was like going to like a country club, but it was a fitness club. We had access to the pool, the basketball courts, badminton courts, not badminton, but pickleball courts. It had a women's only gym inside of it. It had like another gym. And the great thing about the gym, for those who go, is like the availability for the machines, right? There's some gyms you go to, like a 24-hour fitness or like a Planet Fitness, where you're waiting for machines and you don't want to freaking waste your time waiting on machines. So that was a great thing about being at this fitness club was I never had to wait on a machine. I mean, I want to go in there at 6 a.m. There's only like maybe 3 to 4 people in the entire gym. And I'm like, thanks. That's great. I loved it. Nia loved it because she had her own. There was a women's only gym. So she felt comfortable out there and she wanted to go down to the all gym. She could. And it was a great feeling. It was a great feeling to be able to go in, get out, like do a workout in 30 minutes, 40 minutes because I don't have to wait on freaking machines. It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. You know what I mean? But, there's sometimes you got to know you got to cut costs where you got to cut costs. So I've been looking into how can I do something like a gym membership. I'm like, do I really want to do a 24-hour fitness? Probably not. Do I really want to do a Planet Fitness? Absolutely not. Had that before. Nothing wrong against Planet Fitness, but it's just so many people. There's a lot. And there's one thing that I'm learning too is, when I don't need to be around a lot of people, when I'm working and stuff like that, I'm really valuing being around the right amount of people, if that makes freaking sense. I have no idea what that means. I don't know. Like, I don't know what it means. Like, Nia said, I think you were rough to me because Nia doesn't like to be around a lot of people all the time. And I'm just like, I love people, and I did it. But now I'm like, maybe you're right, baby. Maybe I need to be around less people, large groups. So anyway, so I said to myself, damn, where can I get somewhat of a private gym? It was not really private. And I thought to myself, the YMCA. Like, why aren't I taking advantage of the YMCA? I'm pretty sure it's going to be a little bit cheaper than going to a private gym, and it's going to be a little bit more expensive than going to like a Planet Fitness or a 24-hour fitness. I don't know. I haven't checked into it. I'm going to look into it, and I'll let you guys know what I find out. But I'm like, if I could join the YMCA, they have a basketball court, they usually have a pool, and they have some type of fitness center, like all the things that I would love to enjoy, especially in the summer. So I'm like, and it's probably gonna be dirt cheaper, you know what I mean, than going to a private gym. And if I choose the right time to go, I might not be seeing everybody there. I remember a lot when I used to live in my hometown of Downey, there was a lot of people that actually chilled at our YMCA. They had the YMCA, and there was a lot of business being done there. I mean, hey, I might be able to network there now. Um, so it's something I'm going to look into because I need to prioritize getting a lot more healthier and stuff like that. So that even comes with me, cooking a lot more healthier. Now, I will tell you this: that's not my repertoire. That's not me. That's Nia. Nia's a great cook. She cooks great food, and she cooks stuff to make sure that we have like a complete meal. That's not me. I don't know if there's any other man out there like me that is like I cook the main dish, and that's it. And mostly, if you're a single man out there or you've been single for a while before you got married or in a relationship, there's probably maybe 5 foods that you probably or 5 things that you actually make. And then there are actually just different variations of the 5 things. And I'm gonna break that down for you right now. So, right, like spaghetti, I think I make good spaghetti, but spaghetti is not hard to freaking make. Now, how do I juice it up? Okay, I put in some bell peppers, I put in some caramelized onions, and maybe some jalapenos to have like a little kick with my spaghetti. And that's easy. Boil some noodles, right? If I want to get a little bit more healthier, I make it with turkey, ground turkey. I mean, you just juice it up still. So really, that's all I'm making. You know what I mean? 2 is tacos. Like everybody can make tacos. Ground beef tacos, turkey tacos, chicken tacos. You can make some crunchy shells, or you can make them soft, whatever you want to do. Like I can make some tacos. Now, what goes with tacos? I don't know. I don't do rice and beans, and people do that. I don't do that. But yeah, people do that. Okay. So three things. The third thing that I think a lot of men make is like some type of like steak. Like, yeah, can I like not everybody's making a steak the proper way. I'm not before I wasn't out there basting my steak like I'm supposed to basting it. I like a well done steak. Yeah, y'all can kill me later. I don't care. But lately I do like a nice medium well. Like a nice medium well. You know what I'm saying? So I've gotten to that part. Now, yeah, like I said, my friends, Henry, if you're listening or if you're seeing this, I'm sorry, bro. You can kill me later. But hey, a medium well steak is just as good to me. I like it. I like a little char taste. I like a little burnt. I like people like you like burnt taste. Like apparently I do because that's what I like. I like done. That's what I like too, right? Um, and then the fourth thing. The fourth thing that I make, maybe not everybody makes, but maybe my Latin family makes, is enchiladas. I love making chicken enchiladas. Like that's my favorite thing to make. But it's a process, right? Because there's so many different little things you gotta do to wrap up, in that bacon and all that stuff. But I love making some chicken enchiladas. Nia asked me one day, "Oh, can I do the chicken enchiladas, but you can put some veggies in it?" And I was like, "No." Even though it's so damn easy to do, but I'm just like, "No, that's not how I make it." You know, I guess maybe because I'm lazy, I don't want to make two separate type of enchiladas. I don't want to make my chicken enchiladas where I like with just my chicken, my cheese, and my olives, and making hers with some chicken, maybe some spinach, some whatever else, and put it all like I didn't want to make different ones. It's just too much work for me. And the last thing, well, the fifth thing I think that every man makes is a freaking hamburger patty. I mean, a hamburger patty like that's so easy. Like, and this is before I even start putting egg in my hamburger patties to keep it together. I know that's gonna sound weird. Maybe people knew that before that, but I didn't know that shit. So I was just making regular ass patties, And I ain't gonna lie. When I was younger, I would just eat a patty. My mom would just make a freaking patty, and I would have that with some mustard on top. Spread the mustard on top and just eat it like that. Don't know why. Maybe this was me doing no carbs before there was a no carb thing. That's it. I was ahead of the game. That's all it is. I was ahead of the game just eating just a freaking meat patty with some mustard on top. That's great. But now I like a nice burger. I like a nice well done burger. Now, like I said, once again, y'all can kill me. I don't care. But that's just how I like it. So these are the five things I know that men probably make. And if you do, comment down below. Or if you do make something else, comment down below. But so yeah, so these are the things that I'm just thinking about. Like obviously, I need to eat better, right? Because all the things I named is very beef heavy, very red meat heavy, very red meat heavy. So I need to learn and to get into leaner meat and without having to use chicken all the time or just or turkey. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get. I want to do more fish, but for me, the only fish I really like is like blackened fish or like a white fish. I call them white fish. Like I don't like anything that tastes fishy, if that makes sense. Like I don't like salmon. Basically, anything that's a different color other than white, I don't like to eat it. Like I don't, for the most part, like tilapia, we can all say we can graduate from tilapia. Tilapia is the Walmart of the sea. I don't know, but we just get rid of that shit. You know what I mean? But some mahe mahe, love me some mahe mahe. I even had swordfish. It's prepared right. I like some swordfish. I like some flounder when it's fried, nice and golden brown flounder. I've actually like some oysters. Like not, I can't have a lot of them. Maybe like three or four. Like if it's on like two or three, I'm sorry. If they're on a tray and people around just to conversate and have, I will have an oyster just to get the little. I think I like the thing of making the liquor they call the liquor in the side of it, scooping it up and drinking it and just taking it like a shot. I kind of like that aspect of it, but I couldn't have like a lot of it. But I don't do lobster. I don't do shrimp. Um, People are looking like, what? You don't do shrimp? Um, Left for shrimp fried rice. For some reason, I love me some shrimp fried rice, but I don't like shrimp. Yeah, I'm weird like that, but it's okay. But definitely need to make some better food. Make some better food. I've been trying to go more men training because what's in men training usually helps for you to be on a not saying a diet, but it just helps you put you in the right direction. And I'm talking about way too much about food. I don't know how we got on this. We got on food a little bit too much, but check it out. But so yeah, so basically, long story short, I'm prioritizing sleep, I'm trying to have a lot more rest. That way, I'm well rested. You know what I mean? Because now I do have more time on my hands to do things, and it's funny because I haven't been doing stuff, even though I have time on my hands to do things. You know, but my mind is completely racing about multiple things I gotta do. Like for now, that like I have to operate and make and bring in my own money, and it's not like an established paycheck. I have to really go forth and be like, yo, I need to book some more gigs for this month, or I need to book some more gigs for that month, so I can pay for this, or I can do this. So it's me on a constant grind and hustle in my office, just on my computer, sending out emails, responding to emails, trying to get my name on the books somewhere. So this is me saying also, hey, if you need a event DJ, an event host, I'm your person. Just let me know. Hit me up. I got you. Please hit a brother up. This is how motherfuckers getting paid now. This is how we eating, and this is how we keep the roof over the head. So hey, make sure you dial in, lock in. Whatever you need me to send you, I'll send you. Let me know. But I love the freedom I have. Even though I'm stressing, I often now have been saying like, if I'm gonna be stressing, I want to stress for something I'm doing for myself and not for somebody else. I don't want other people's stress. I want my stress, and this is good stress. Even though I might complain here and there, or I might say some things, I'm stressing because I want to freaking stress. I wanted it. God gave me the opportunity to do it, so that's what I'm here to do. So, yeah, man. So that's what it is, man. Just getting the right proper sleep. I'm still waking up now. Still working at 5:30. I work around 6:30, and I kind of linger. But I'm also trying to do more work around the house, trying to be a better house husband, because my wife deserves it. I'm trying to be more of a house husband. You know, whether that's make sure I clean. Right after this, I'm gonna do some vacuuming real fast before I even head out for the day. And really, prioritize around my house. I've actually made some new updates in my office. Maybe I'll show you on a different podcast or a different show later. But and really just make sure my home space is the vital space for me. Yeah, this has been an interesting conversation, man. It's been a conversation. But this is like I said, the purpose of the Dark Rose podcast is to have conversations with you, like as if we were just sitting over a cup of coffee, just chilling and relaxing and talking amongst friends about things that need to happen within life or what's going on in life or what's on our mind lately. And so this has been on my mind. This has been going on in my life, and this is what's been happening lately. So thank y'all for listening. Thank you for watching if you're watching on YouTube. And hey, like I said, remember, love is not bought, it's brewed. So make sure you go out there and brew your way up. That made no last sense. I should have ended with the first one. But all right, y'all. I'll see you when I see you. Peace.